Hey guys, welcome to yet another big week of astrology. I know I say this every week, but we are really just in the thick of things right now. This is the week hosting our last final exact square between Saturn and Uranus, one of the major energetic themes that has been carrying us through this entire year, coming to a head once again, the third and final time this year, really pushing us to break free from things that have been restricting us from aligning with our authentic truth and the liberation that truly represents. Symbolically today, though, you guys, we have some messages coming in telling us to keep the faith, hold on to our faith, focus on our faith despite any type of spectacles or distractions that may be going on the ground. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, December 20th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day, kicking off this week. This is one of the weeks out of this entire year, you guys, that is one of the main, packing a major punch energetically in terms of everything that has been trying to unfold for us this year and everything that began with the new moon in Aries that happened on April 11th. On the 24th, Christmas Eve, we have this last big activation between Saturn and Uranus going on. So we are building towards that energetically this week in the midst of a Venus-Pluto conjunction as well. Now that we have Venus going retrograde, she's also going to be coming back into exact conjunction with Pluto. So definitely, you guys, more of the break the chains energy coming in strong this week. But let's bring it back to today. Let's talk about today. First and foremost, we have the sun at the very last degree of Sagittarius today, getting ready to shift everything and enter Capricorn, join the party with the rest of the planets tomorrow. But the Sabian symbol where the sun is located today, 30 degrees of Sagittarius, or this specific degree described in a symbolic form so that we can just have a better idea of how this particular spot in the sky activates, what it resonates to, and what we are likely to see in terms of themes unfolding when it's activated. That's what the Sabian symbols do. And they do so for every degree in the zodiac. And whenever a planet is at a specific point or degree, we can look to it, read the symbol, and it just gives us another layer of clarity and context about what is going on with that particular planet at that particular point. So anyways, today we have the sun at 30 degrees of Sagittarius. That Sabian symbol is the Pope blessing the faithful. Now remember, we are coming out of a weekend that hosted a full moon in Gemini and Sagittarius that was both conjunct and opposed to the galactic center, and also was in a sextile and a trine to Jupiter, really talking about faith, God source energy, divine assistance, galactic guidance and help available for us coming through, and really, what we need to be focusing on in order to pull ourselves out of the darkness of these shadows that we have been simultaneously so immersed in with all of this black moon energy that has also been present. If you've been following my videos for the past week or so and you saw my full moon video, you know that gaining conscious awareness of what has been going on in the shadows of our own psyche and what has really been going on under the surface of things in our own lives has been a major energetic push to, like I said, bring awareness, conscious awareness to, and help us really understand and rectify this cycle. But we have the sun today talking about the Pope blessing the faithful. So once again, to me, I'm reading this energetic today as we really need to maintain and to look to our spiritual guidance, our higher, our where we connect to source and our higher self, and really cultivating, like I said, our faith and our spiritual connection as we maneuver whatever is playing out, whatever is going on today and this week, because blessings for the faithful seem to be a message that is being emanated not only from the sun being at this degree placement today. We also have the North Node currently at 2 degrees of Gemini, Santa Claus furtively filling stockings, hanging by the fireplace as we move towards this Christmas Eve big activation that we have going on. And this full moon, we're in a full 2-week full moon cycle now that was all about divine assistance, tapping into faith, tapping into source code, aligning with God, and having the faith and sticking to that and allowing that to be really what is motivating us at this point in time and what we are falling back on. Major messages coming through. And with the sun coming to this placement today, again, I feel like this is just telling us no matter what is going on, holding to our faith, aligning with our truth is where our blessings are going to find us. We're going to attract our blessings when we are in that vibration in alignment with our faith. Now, it's also interesting because we have the earth today, which is always in a polar opposition to the sun at 30 degrees of Gemini. And that Sabian symbol is a parade of bathing beauties before large beach crowds. So that's sort of telling me that like on the ground today, there may be some type of spectacle, some type of performance, some type of parade or charade or distraction going on, something, kind of stealing our attention, distracting us, or just, like a parade sort of stealing our attention. Any spectacle that may be going on, any type of distraction that we may find ourselves facing today that may be trying to pull us out or get us distracted from our actual lesson right now, which is aligning with that truth. We need to fall back again on our faith in order to sort of avoid or maneuver whatever might be trying to distract us from the task at hand today, just by the placement of the sun and the earth for today. Now let's talk about the specific energetics that are in effect. And that's also why I said in my intro, hold to our faith despite any type of spectacles or distractions, because simply of the placement and the symbolism coming through in terms of the sun and the earth today. Now, like I said, this is a big week energetically. We are in a week of build up and exposure. Number one, this is because we just had our full moon in Gemini, like I said, trying to bring truth to light, Gemini and Sagittarius. We are still in this eclipse energy, the few weeks following any eclipse, especially a solar eclipse. This is about really shining light into the shadows and was trying to help us gain some type of conscious awareness of what's going on behind the scenes of things, whether in our own psyche or, physically, materially in our lives and in our relationships. Also, the energy we are in right now, of course, is this building Saturn-Uranus energy, breaking free from restrictions. That is what that is doing. That is what that has been trying to do for us all year. And lastly, we also have Venus retrograde right now, who is coming into a conjunction. Again, she has been in a conjunction with Pluto, but she is going to make the exact conjunction again with Pluto just in time for our square from Uranus and Saturn that is going to be occurring on Christmas Eve on the 24th as well. So all of these four energetics going on simultaneously right now, causing this buildup of tension that is really pushing to bring clarity and exposure and truth to a lot of things in our lives. Now let's talk about the main energy for today, because that is sort of what we're dealing with this week. Three main things that I'm really looking at today as well. Number one, like I said, we are in our last day of Sagittarius sun energy. Tomorrow, our lovely sun is going to be moving to Capricorn to join all of the planets that are currently in Capricorn. We have Mercury, we have Venus, we have Pluto, all there right now. And so this is definitely going to be bringing us an energetic shift as we move out of the more Sagittarian, Jupiterian vibrations and into Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which is in the square to Uranus. So when the sun moves into Capricorn, this, we're probably really going to start feeling this tension coming from this square, because now we will have the sun in this sign that is ruled by Saturn, while Saturn is making this square to Uranus, building to exactness on the 24th. So once the sun moves into Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, we potentially could really start feeling an uptick in this tension throughout the rest of the week as well. Number two, you guys, and this is a little bit exciting to me, Chiron, the hero's journey archetype, the wounded healer teacher archetype. Chiron rules the master energetic, the master frequency. Chiron has gone direct, and this happened yesterday. And I am very excited about this because this means that now a lot of the inner work and a lot of the healing and a lot of the inner alchemization and transmutation of a lot of our wounds into a state of healing, regeneration, and mastery, transforming from victimhood into a state of our own self-healer, and then our own expert on what we've recovered from, and then our own master of the experience. Going direct, this means that while we have been dealing with this Chiron energy in a very internalized way over the course of the past few months, while Chiron has been retrograde, now this means that we should start actually seeing the impact of this healing that has been going on internally, externally in our lives. So it's like we actually should start making decisions and making choices and experiencing our actual physical, tangible presence in our reality at this point in time in more of an alignment with actually the shifts that have been in the healing and that process of transmutation, alchemization that has been going on internally throughout everything that we've been going through over this past few months. So I think that this is sort of telling us that we are coming to a point where we are truly beginning to really heal, transcend our wounds, and to step into that state of mastery over our circumstances. And this is going to have a lot of tangible outcomes in terms of our physical experiences, because we are no longer going to be vibrating with a lot of the things that we used to because of this internalized transformation now being extrapolated outwards. So I feel like as a result of Chiron now going direct, we are actually going to start noticing that we're attracting and that we're resonating with and that we're desiring a lot of sort of maybe different things in our physical material life, world, circumstances, like all of that type of thing. We've really been going through this inner healing journey over the past couple of months with everything that's been going on. But now we're at the point where we're ready to externalize that and start living in alignment with that. So this is big news, and we are ready to finally begin to outwardly express the healing and inner transformation we've been undergoing inwardly, internally over this past while, over this past few months, really starting to heal our wounds and exhibit our newfound self-mastery externally. So this is a beautiful thing, especially happening, in alignment with this square that is coming to a head between Uranus and Saturn, helping us to break our restrictions, and also simultaneously Pluto and Venus helping us to slay our demons and really reevaluate and come into a better relationship with our true internal self-love, self-worth, self-value, and what we will and will not accept for ourselves in our lives anymore, corresponding with Chiron now going direct, which is really a foundational part of this change that is pushing all of this other stuff. So very synchronistic again, and this is a big deal, Chiron now stationing direct. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about today, and this is really the main aspects that we have going on today, we have a Cancer moon, and that means that the moon in Cancer is going to be opposing Mercury. It's in like the early to mid degrees of Cancer, opposing Mercury and simultaneously forming a square to that recently newly direct Chiron in Aries. So there's going to be a T-square forming in cardinal signs today as a result of the moon being in Cancer, between the moon in Cancer, Mercury in Capricorn, and Chiron in Aries. And so this is, first of all, with the moon in Cancer opposite Mercury in Capricorn, there may be some type of push and pull going on today between practical logic and our emotions and our emotional needs, or like our plans and our goals and what we're trying to accomplish and what we're just feeling like we really need to do to take care of ourselves under this energy today. This energy may, again, because of the square to Chiron, both Mercury and the moon are going to be squaring Chiron. This again may be triggering our wounds, and we might be feeling a little bit off balance today internally, but it's happening, if this happens, it's happening so that we can really see the problem, see what's going on, see what's out of balance, heal it, and then go, through this process of mastering that experience with Chiron now direct. This energy may actually be giving us an opportunity today to kind of like see where we are in terms of healing these wounds, and now also how we're ready to respond to these type of situations based on the healing that we've done so far. But today could be a triggering day in terms of just like deep wounds sort of getting kicked up a little bit, and it could definitely have to do with a lack of balance and imbalance, or just some type of push and pull, like I said, between the mind and the emotions. With the moon in Cancer and Mercury in Capricorn, this could also be like hard facts not like lining up with our emotional need to be nurtured today. Or it could also cause some painful feelings or conversations, because we do have Mercury involved, and it's the moon also in the square to Chiron. But again, this is trying to show us what we need to heal and how to heal it, like what we have left to work on. Could definitely bring up issues and tensions regarding also some messaging coming through potentially from like bosses or authority figures, leaders, sort of people in charge, with Mercury being in Capricorn, some types of rules or restrictions coming down from authority in terms of information or messaging coming through, definitely sort of not being in alignment with what the people really feel that we need right now to really care for ourselves and nurture ourselves. The needs of the people, triggering some type of healing crisis with this square to Chiron going on. This is definitely the vibe with these three planets in this T-square today, but they're in cardinal signs, so it's actually to make some type of action happen. And also, with Chiron being in Aries right now, this is really being the pioneer and having the courage and the motivation, the willpower and the strength to be the pioneer of our own healing journey, of our own hero's journey, and to really, like I said, be inspired to initiate and to pioneer this on our own, in order so that we can come to this place of self-mastery and overcome our previous limitations, which is everything that the energy is pushing towards right now. So we have that going on. And then one other thing that I wanted to note today as well, Mercury being in the opposition to the moon is also going to put Mercury today in a exact trine to Uranus. So this is a mental realignment that's going on as well. This whole, like, we've been dealing with so much energy that has been pushing for a mental realignment over this past entire Sagittarius cycle, really. So Mercury and Uranus coming into a trine today in Earth signs, again, this is definitely pushing for this mental realignment again in terms of our perception of our own value, though, in a lot of ways, with it being the Earth sign. And also truth and authenticity for sure, because Uranus, that is what Uranus represents, and this is a trine to Uranus. Truth and authentic value is the important keyword there, with it being Taurus as well. So Mercury in the trine to Uranus today, you guys. This could be shocking, surprising news, information, messages, conversations, helping to align us with our inner truth and authenticity. Again, also with the opposition in Mercury and Capricorn, this could be coming from establishment, coming from government, coming from bosses, leaders, something like that. Some type of shocking or surprising news, but the outcome of it is actually going to be helping us to gain some type of realignment with our personal truth and authenticity, regardless of what the messaging is. It's like with this, we may hear some really off the wall messaging, but the ultimate outcome of it is actually going to be what is like better for our transition vibrationally into the age of Aquarius, because we're dealing with Uranus, and every contact made with Uranus at this point in time is about that. This could also pertain to financial markets, resources, economies, like I said, governments, establishments, leaders, bosses, money, material goods, possessions, and of course, value, the keyword associated with the sign of Taurus. Also, anything like this today, like I said, is a good thing ultimately, despite what it looks like on the surface or the immediate shock value. And this is because also not only is it Uranus, but we're also dealing with the trine right now. And trines are aspects of assistance. They help things happen. And remember, Uranus right now is in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, who is retrograde in Capricorn in a conjunction with Pluto. Really trying to bring us into sort of like an internal maturation in terms of how we perceive and relate to our own self-worth and our own internal value and our own self-love, and what we will and will not accept anymore going forward, where we will and will not surrender our power anymore going forward. And, you know, with Uranus being in Taurus, this could definitely be creating some major like financial upheavals as well, because Venus also rules money, financial partnerships, shakeups, things along those lines as well. So that is basically what I have for the energy for specifically today. Like I said, we are in this big Christmas week of I mean, it's hard to be negative about the situation when the North Node is at a degree right now. The North Node is our collective destiny. The way that the evolutionary blueprint is divinely unfolding right now, and it's at the Sabian symbol, Santa Claus furtively filling stockings hanging by the fireplace, and it will be there on Christmas Eve when we have these big activations going on. So we have to know that at the end of the day, all of this is trying to bring us blessings and fulfillment from the divine, from God, but it's just this process of really getting there and having the faith and the trust that everything is not as it seems right now. Blessings are coming in disguise, and everything really needs to fall away so that we can have that empty stocking to receive the blessings that are coming to us going forward. So that's what we got for the astrology today, you guys. Let's talk for a brief minute about the tarot. I was shuffling tarot cards this morning, asking God, universe, spirit, please clarify the collective energy. How are we doing today on planet Earth? How are we feeling? What is going on with the human collective as we go through these changes and head towards this very profound week? Got kind of an interesting message coming out today. The first card that came out was the Moon. This is gonna bring some confusion, some mystery, perhaps, a lack of clarity to some degree, but we also just had a really big full moon, so that could also be in reference to this. Now the second card came out, and I was happy to see this. Let me tell you, we had the Devil in reverse, you guys. This is us breaking the chains. This is us breaking toxic habits, toxic relationships, self-sabotaging cycles, cracking those faulty algorithms that are running in the background of our subconscious mind and our psyche that are not benefiting our growth and adding to our evolution. So that's great. And then the third card that came out was the Seven of Pentacles. So, and this card is all about sort of like looking at what you've achieved, like taking a stock in what you've harvested, like looking at what your efforts have like put out, like what you have achieved from your efforts. So, and then on the back of the deck, we had the Five of Wands. So when I put these two cards together, or these four cards together, and I'm reading them like the symbolism, what this is sort of telling me is like, well, for one, we just had this big full moon that probably shook things up quite a bit and led to us breaking some chains in some type of a way. But also there may just be a general sense of like a little bit of confusion, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of lack of clarity, a little bit of uncertainty at this point in time, because we are doing this, because we are breaking the chains and we are stopping to surrender our power to things that aren't good for us. And it has us in a place of sort of counting our losses, or looking at what we have left, or, you know, taking an inventory of what we still have to work with going forward. But the thing is, we are not giving up, and we feel like we're in some type of battle or some type of conflict, and we need to fight for something. So, you know, this is really telling me, what did I write down? I wrote, and this is a moon. This is also about reflection. This could have us, I feel like sort of collectively, we're reflecting on what we can salvage once we break ourselves free from feeling in conflict about, or in inner conflict. This is, you know, some type of conflict, some type of inner conflict going on about how to salvage what remains and move forward. So it's like there's definitely an inner conflict going on right now, an inner battle going on, and we know this because if you've been following my work, you know that we are in a spiritual battle. We are in a battle to slay our demons, a battle versus our lower and our higher selves, so that we can go through this energetic vibrational shift that will lead us into the age of Aquarius. And it does, especially with this black moon and all of this dichotomy that we've had going on lately between all of this galactic center, Jupiter, divine light, God source energy coming in, and simultaneously having to really stare into our shadows and our own darkness and conquer our fears and solve our own mysteries of our own psyche that have been hidden from us. Definitely, you know, we're experiencing a type of inner conflict. and maybe some confusion and uncertainty. But what we are not uncertain about is this. What we are not uncertain about, what is very clear, is that we are slaying those demons, that we are, winning this battle, that we are shifting, that we are breaking free, that we are coming back into our own internal power. We are stopping to surrender, because we feel like we don't have enough inside of us. And it just is feeling us like sort of, like I said, maybe counting our losses or wondering what we can salvage from this situation, or wondering sort of if all is lost. Remember when we had that full moon just recently, the degree of the full moon, the Sabian symbol of the degree of the full moon and the earth was a man declared bankrupt, sort of like having to, like I've said several times, like cut your losses, let go of the things for the past, sort of disregard everything you've built up until this point. But the flip side of that is being offered this brand new, fresh, clean slate to really begin again and build something brand new based on your own willpower and merit and skill and, the ability to manifest in this reality. And so I feel like that's basically what this is saying. Like, and then, the card underneath that, and then underneath, it just keeps going. Like, there's a conflict because we've been having our power stolen and we're really trying to get to this wish card. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the way that it's reading today, there's this inner conflict going on because we've been giving our power away. There's some confusion or some uncertainty or a lack of being able to see clearly the direction of the future while we go through this process, because we're going through this and we don't really know, what we're going to have left to work on and plant going forward from the things from the past that we've been working on and growing up until this point in time. But at the end of the day, with that 5 of Wands on the back of the deck, we are not giving up and we are pushing back against anything that is still trying to take our power at this point in time, because we are definitely breaking those chains with that Devil in reverse. So, it's actually a pretty positive, optimistic message, even though there may be this inner conflict, this inner battle going on, and some confusion or uncertainty about, what we're really going to be able to cultivate in the future. At this point, remember, the Pope blessing the faithful, we need to just surrender our fears and worries to the divine at this point in time and realize that our blessings come through our faith moving forward into this new energetic paradigm where we co-create with God and universe. A lot of it has to do with the attitude, the vibration, and the trust and faith that we have in this process. So good messaging coming through from the tarot. I feel like that is pretty on point with the energetics. Now I'm going to draw us a synchronicity card, you guys. I love these cards. These are just little messages from God that can help us to just give us a little bit of motivation or some inspiration, something that we maybe just need whispered in our ear to help us navigate these energetics a little bit better. These are by Jana Shellman, and I really love these cards. So let's see what the card is for today. The Pope blessing the faithful, you guys. This card says great blessings, and this is what God wants to tell us right now. For whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Like, I know these are called synchronicity cards and they do this to me a lot. But once again, I'm honestly tripping out inside my own mind about the degree of the sun today, the Pope blessing the faithful, coming off of the full moon in the conjunction with the galactic center, the God source code point of all of the zodiac, which was in the almost exact aspect to Jupiter, which is the planet that rules faith. Here we are, sun, the Pope blessing the faithful, and the message that God specifically wants to give to us, great blessings. And the first line of this card, for whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. So in case we needed some extra validation or confirmation today, faith is where it's at. If you are feeling any type of way, say your prayers, call out to God, ask for divine help, ask for divine assistance, align with the path that God has for you, and, allow yourself to be guided through your intuition and your intuitive hunches and urges, and great blessings. And the North Node at that degree also, you guys, it just couldn't be any more synchronistic. So once again, these cards are very true to their name. Let me finish reading. It says, nothing is more powerful than God. Contact God quietly with faith and confidence and know God is opening a path and solving your problem. With God, nothing is impossible and great blessings will be yours. This is again sort of talking about that inner conflict that the tarot cards were showing today. The Pope blessing the faithful. And you know, this is symbolism. This isn't actually referring to like the actual Pope blessing anyone. This is talking about the, you know, humanity aligning with their the higher power and their own commitment to their faith, and the blessings come from that. The Pope in this symbol is really just symbolic of humanity connecting to that higher source, to that higher power, and the blessings that can be received through that. And once again, with this card, we have great blessings. Nothing is more powerful than God. Contact God quietly with faith and confidence, and know God is opening the path and solving your problem. With God, nothing is impossible, and great blessings will be yours. So beautiful way to start the week out, you guys. You know, again, like this inner conflict that the tarot was talking about, this is also that T-square that we have going on today. Shocking messaging potentially coming through with Mercury in the trine to Uranus. But at the end of the day, Santa Claus furtively filling stockings, hanging by the fireplace. That is where universe, God is trying to lead us. Multiple indications today that blessings are ours as long as we align with God, universe, higher spirit, and our internal compass that helps us to align with that and surrender to our faith and surrender our fears and our worries to that higher power. Definitely, you guys, the guidance, the direction today as we head into this week of a lot of exposure and a lot of tension. So that's what I have for my report today, guys. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps my channel grow when you guys do that, and I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so, so much for watching. I hope I was able to, sorry, I have something on my lip. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you just a little bit of clarity or some guidance to help you navigate this energy that we have going on this week that could be pretty intense again. And definitely come back with me again, you guys, tomorrow, because we're going to have more astrology to talk about as we move another day closer into this T-square that we have building Venus, Pluto in conjunction. Tomorrow, the moon in Cancer is actually going to be forming an opposition to Venus and Pluto. So really going to be setting that off tomorrow as well. So we'll have that to talk about. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.